What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to Tuesday night's Late Night Agenda. My name is Craig, I'm your host, and as always, this is your show. Let me know the topics you want to talk about. I'll take you guys through the whole Red Ball Acquisition Corp, the whole investment in FSG. We'll talk about that in more detail later on in the stream. Glad to have you all with me. I hope that you're well. Appreciate that there's a couple of live games on right now, and most people are probably watching them, but really appreciate you guys coming in and keeping little old me company on this one. Lee Chappie is over in Mundo Sporto, currently doing a watch along right now of the Southampton Arsenal game, if you want to pop over there later on as well. Lovely to see you guys in. How are we? Brendan, thank you for the lovely message there at the start of the stream. Arsenal have got it back to 1-1 in that game, by the way. Absolutely flying start there. Goals going in all over the shop in the first 15 minutes. Christian, how are you, buddy? Lovely to see you in the chat as well. George, always a pleasure. Murray reviews Arsenal Southampton looks like a good game. It does. I know people are already saying to me, Craig, we're not in the top four. I know West Ham's win earlier on. Fair play to them. They've pushed themselves into the top four. We are, of course, playing West Ham on Sunday, and I will be chatting with Jack Mate on Thursday about that game. So we were supposed to do it today. Something came up. Look, people are busy. I understand that. So we'll be chatting with Jack on Thursday. Really looking forward to that one. Can I please be a mod, said Muzzamil. Do you know what, mate? Not because you super chatted, but because you've been a really nice guy since you've been in. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Why not? Thank you for your support, mate, by the way. Hey, Craig, hope you're having a good day. I'm having a much better day today, thank you. Yes, much better day today. Yeah, life's turning around bit by bit, and I'm feeling a lot more optimistic, a lot more positive. But, yeah, there you go. Do I reckon Arsenal will get into Europe, or can get into Europe? The league is that compressed, mate, that I suppose technically they can if they get themselves up in the 7th, and depending on who wins the FA Cup, which won't be Arsenal, obviously they were knocked out the other day. Yeah, it's such a crazy league this year that if you can put together a run of 4 or 5 wins, you'll shoot right up that table. We ain't signing a centre back, or why ain't we signing it? Excuse me, said Christopher. There's 2 trains of thought here, buddy, and let's start with the fan side of it. Me, you, every other Liverpool fan out there. We want the centre-back, the manager wants a centre-back, but I'm going to play devil's advocate, and while I don't agree that it's the right move, I think we should be getting a centre-back. I think it could cost us massively long-term if we don't. I also look at it from the side of view of maybe there's something in place for the summer, and maybe they can't get that player in January. Now, that doesn't make it acceptable. That doesn't mean we couldn't get in a stopgap. I'm not a fan of loans personally, but let's say a loan or somebody to get you through, to get an extra body in there so you don't have to rely on a really young kid in Reece Williams, or somebody who, quite frankly, isn't up to the level with Nat Phillips, albeit Nat Phillips is a good solid pro, just not the right level for the back line and the way that we play. So, mate, I'm as confused as you are, but that's the only thing I can really say to you. Is all I can say is it could be for something for the summer, but it still doesn't make it any better. It still doesn't make it any less frustrating that you see the manager publicly asking for a centre back and being told, sorry gaffer, no money. It's not great. It's not great for us fans to see. At least we scored twice. There you go, man. There's always positives. As you said, at least we scored twice. So if there's positives to be taken from anything, let's try and find it. And look, it's a huge game on Thursday. And heads up, my preview of that is coming out after this stream tonight. I recorded it earlier on today. My score prediction, my starting 11. I spoke with Leon from Boyle Sports. But actually, let me just show you guys the charity bet for this week. Because as you guys know, a different one of our subscribers gets to pick a different charity bet each week. We have €50 given to us for each game from our sponsors, Boyle Sports. And we put that on whatever one of our subscribers picks. This week the charity bet is this. It's Mark Caldwell that's picking this week, and Mark has gone for Sadio Mane to score and Liverpool to have the most corners in that game. The €50 stake would pay out 180 minus the €50 stake, obviously, because it's a free bet. Means there'll be a potential €130 there profit. We're giving all the profits this year to Pieta House. That's the charity that we've chosen to work with. Suicide prevention charity. Obviously, in the times that we're in, we feel this is a very important topic to highlight. So if Mark gets that right, then Mark will get 1 point on our leaderboard. He'll get a tenner free bet for himself, and he'll move on to week 2. If Mark doesn't get it right, then Ian is next one up, and he'll pick the charity bet for next week. So best of luck. Hope that one comes in against Spurs on Thursday night. And again, massive thank you to our sponsors, Boyle Sports. If you are going to have a little flutter on the game, why not use our sponsors, Boyle Sports? If you're in England or Ireland, or England or the UK, Ireland or the UK I should say, if you set up an account with Boyle, place your first tenner bet, you are guaranteed to receive at least one free bet. But we urge you to always gamble responsibly. And of course, UK and Irish residents age 18 plus. Right, let's get back into the chat. us not signing a centre-back makes me think that the club knows something about Gomez or Van Dijk. There's that aspect of it as well. And I've genuinely spoke to different people from medical backgrounds around the whole Van Dijk knee thing, and I've received a lot of different answers. Some people think he may be back earlier than we think. Others think that the way the scar is, that potentially the knee could have been rebuilt and it could be a bit longer. I don't know is the honest answer, but what I do know is we've seen Gomez, we've seen Big Verge over in Dubai, I believe, at this moment in time, doing his exercises, getting back with his rehab, and maybe we all hope that we see them back as soon as possible. But again, the club play the cards close to their chest when it comes to injury, so quite frankly, we don't know when they'll be back, mate. I heard Rojo was looking for a move. Pass, pass, Jack, mate, pass. It's got to be third time lucky Anfield agenda. What's this one, Mark? Oh yeah, we got to get one right. Come on, we will. We've a long way to go for the rest of the season, and look, it's all for a very good cause. All money raised will of course be going to Pieta House this season, which is the charity that we've chosen. I should probably tell Connor that that's the charity that we've chosen at some point. I should probably fill him in on that one. Do you think we should transition Trent into the midfield position? I understand why there's always a lot of shouts for Trent to go into midfield, and I understand that he's capable of it, but I still think right back is the best position for him. And who the hell are we going to get to replace him at right back if he does move into midfield? So he did start his career as a midfielder, that's very well documented and known, but to me, I'd rather see him stay at right back, because I think he will go on to become one of the best right backs in the world, if he already isn't. But I think long term he will just be an absolute legend there. But look, that's my opinion, but I absolutely respect that people do fancy moving Trent into midfield. Personally though, I just like to see him. Did I ever have hair? Yeah, of course I did, mate. I did indeed. My wife doesn't like me with hair, Ben, believe it or not. She thinks I look dirty and scruffy, so she prefers me with a shaved head. Do you have a membership that you can buy? Yes, Tom, we do have a membership, mate. Anfield Agenda FC is the name of our membership. If you don't see a blue join button, buddy, have a look in the description of the stream. There's a link there to become a member. Membership, like on most other channels, is $4.99 a month. But what you get for your membership is, like Mark Caldwell has there, the Anfield Agenda logo beside your name. You get use of a load of custom emojis that we have on the channel. But most importantly, you get into our Discord group, which is where the real fun is, which is where we talk about everything from football to crisps to transfers to cars to whatever the hell. It's where we have our little offline talk. So if you want to become a member of Anfield Agenda FC, link in the description, or else click that blue join button. Right, what else have we got? Just like, said Addison, thank you, man. Right, we have a little chat around the whole FSG thing, because I know you're probably wondering about the title, and I can see that there's a couple of people that are confused. Let me just clear the first part of it up. It is not Red Bull, it is Red Ball Acquisition. That was the name of the company that was founded by Billy Beane and Jerry Cardinal with the intent of investing in a football club or a sports franchise. So again, just to clear up, not Red Bull, it's Red Ball, B-A-L-L. Red Ball Acquisition Corp was the company that they set up in order to try and invest. Now, I've been reading a few articles about this, and I mentioned it to you at the end of yesterday's stream, that if I had any more news, I'd let you know. As is always the case, when we finish the stream, the news breaks. So, the news is that it looks like that investment will not be happening. It looks like that they can't raise the capital needed to get to the figure that would trigger their 20 or 25% investment in all of FSG's holdings, which would include the Red Sox, which would include Fenway Racing, which would include Liverpool Football Club, and anything else. It would also have seen Liverpool and all of the clubs, all of the FSG stuff floated on the stock exchange. Now, there's two ways to look at the breakdown in these talks. One, maybe FSG are looking for more of a private equity investment, so somebody who, you know, will invest the money, stay silent, and just want profits. That would in turn, if you're wondering why they want to get investment, there's a couple of reasons. One, it's like cashing in a little bit of the value of your house. They maybe want to free up a little bit of cash to invest in other things, or to just take a bit of a profit from it. But from the reading that I've done on it, it just seems like Jerry Cardinal and Billy Beane they've got 545 million, I think, to invest, but I think they need something a lot more substantial to invest in the 25% that FSG want, and it looks like they can't raise that private equity at this moment in time, hence the reason why the talks have broken down. Now, a lot of people are automatically assuming that maybe Liverpool have a deal in the offing, maybe FSG are looking to sell. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think FSG still believe there's more value to be gotten from Liverpool Football Club, and more ways they could increase the value of the club overall. Obviously the Nike deal, success, winning the Premier League, all these things bring a lot more eyes to the club. And the club have also, for the first time, got into the top 5 in the Deloitte money list, which is a huge achievement, and it just goes to show how well the club has been run. Just one place behind Manchester United on that list. It goes like this: Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Manchester United, Liverpool, and then Manchester City just in 6th place. That's the Deloitte money list of the top 6 earning clubs over the past year or so. So there you go. So it looks like the club are willing to take on investment, and to be fair to FSG, they've always spoken about being willing to take on a minority investor. And what that means, real basic terms, because look, I'm no financial expert, is that it would allow them to either free up capital to invest somewhere else, it would allow them to maybe buy players, it would allow them to invest some money in the rest, whatever they want to do. It's just like cashing in an X percentage of the value of your assets. So that's where we are at the minute. I wouldn't rule out any potential investment coming in the future, or coming very soon, maybe from another source. Maybe Billy Bean and Jerry Cardinal with that Red Bull Acquisition Corp can raise the private equity, and maybe they'll come back to the negotiating table. I don't know, but as it stands, no investment as we sit here right now, or the news breaking from the States last night anyway. And of course, look, there's far more information available publicly if you want to have a look at this, read articles about it yourself and stuff like that. I'm sure that there'll be far more in-depth, well-knowledge people that are give you this information. Barcelona, by the way, absolutely up shit creek. I don't know if you've seen the headlines today in the papers in Spain. I think they're over $1 billion in debt, something like that. And regular viewers of the channel will know I've been talking about how bad a position Barcelona and Real Madrid are in right now. Hence the reason I've always brushed away their interest in our players, particularly Barcelona. They're up shit creek right now, and there's genuinely a massive chance that they could go under. Now I hope if they don't, they're a storied club, but that's where the world is right now. And you know, we're sitting here talking about a centre back, and Barcelona are almost in the position that we were in under Hicks and Gillette, where if the loans get called in, they could be in serious trouble. So there are small mercies to be had, but that doesn't mean we aren't still right to be sitting here looking for a centre back. Would I take Coutinho back? Absolutely not, no. And we've been paid in full for Felipe Coutinho, by the way. Anyone who thinks that there is more money owed to the club or anything, there isn't. We've been paid all the money for Coutinho. As a Barcelona fan, it's quite garbage. I'm a Barcelona fan myself, man. I mean, that's everybody who watches this channel knows. Liverpool are my first love, but I've always had a soft spot for Barcelona. My first football shirt was a Barcelona shirt. I keep an eye on the club. I keep in contact with journalists who regularly cover the stories over there, and it's devastating, man. It's devastating to me as a football fan to see Barcelona in so much trouble. But this is what happens when you financially mismanage a club for a very long time, and you have to pay out the amount of wages and stuff that they have. And some of the transfer deals that they've done, they've quite obviously paid over the odds for a lot of players. Barcelona generating the most revenue basically means nothing with all of their debt. True. You know, you're right. And when you have the GOAT, Lionel Messi, at your club, you're going to sell a shitload of shirts, shitload of Nike merchandise, and like us, they have a deal with Nike where they get a percentage of sales and stuff. Does Madrid really have the money to pay Gini? Madrid? Barca, you mean, Lance? It's Barcelona that Gini will be looking to go to, mate. And again, I don't know the details of that contract. I don't know what Gini's signing on fee will be, what his wages will be, but again, time will tell. What do you think is going to happen to Klopp with FSG in the future? I just think this is a difficult time, man. I just think that everybody's frustrated right now. I mean, the frustration is written all over Klopp's face, the players' faces. I'm sure the owners are scratching their heads, wondering what's going on. None of us seeing this fall from grace that we've had over the past few weeks coming. Yes, we understand that there's a lot of injuries, and yes, we thought there might be a bit of a drop-off, but we went so long doing so well without Van Dijk and Gomez that maybe we all got a little bit complacent. I don't know. Of course, I don't speak for everybody, but I was certainly left scratching my head figuring out where the goal drought came from and how we suddenly couldn't create. But there's so many factors at play here. Everyone's under pressure emotionally. When people go home, they've got their families to worry about. Football clubs are under pressure financially right now, but I still feel that it's at the point where if FSG, who have been very good owners, if they don't pony up the dough right now to get a centre back in, they could be financially worse off if we don't get Champions League football next season. And that is a potential risk. I mean, there's no point in me sitting here and saying we're guaranteed Champions League football. We are absolutely not guaranteed Champions League football. We've got to turn this around. Are we capable of it? Absolutely. I mean, I'd still be amazed if we didn't get a spot, but we've got to start performing. And Klopp has asked for help. He's been told that there's no money available, and that's not what any of us as fans want to hear. And it's written all over the manager's face. He is frustrated right now, and I feel for him. Where do I think Messi will end up? At Inter Miami. That's my guess on Lionel Messi. Klopp hasn't had this battle before. He's used to having a battle last season. Way too easy for us in the Premier League. We need to get used to having a battle on our hands. That's not true, Leighton. We are well used to having a battle. We lost out to Manchester City by 1 point, mate, when they got 98 points and we got 97. That was a battle, pal. That was a battle all the way. So we are used to a battle to win league titles, or we're used to a battle to win the Champions League. But last year, yes, it was a bit easy. We romped away with the title, but you know, at the end of the day, you're only as good as your last result, really, and we need to pick ourselves up. And we've lost to United, we've lost to Burnley. That home record's gone out the window. Teams will feel like it's the right time to play Liverpool right now. I've no doubt that Jose Mourinho and Spurs will be massively up for this game. One positive from the Spurs perspective for us is that, you know, in the game against Wickham in the FA Cup last night, they had to bring on Kane, they had to bring on Son, and that will of course put some minutes in their legs. But again, Ndombele, I don't know if you've seen it, but Ndombele's goal was quite brilliant actually for Spurs in that game. And I'm looking forward to the game on Thursday. It's going to be a big one, and you know, if there's one manager that knows how to not lose, it's Mourinho. So I'm hoping that they don't just sit back and defend. I'm hoping that they come and have a go, but you know, I think it'll be different. I think they'll soak it up and try and play on the counter-attack with Kane and Son's pace, and Lucas Moura, of course, as well. Richard Ascombe said, I have Souček in my Premier League team. He's had a cracking season. I'm actually looking forward to chatting with Jack Mate about Souček and about the impact he's had there at West Ham this season. Barcelona over the years slowly get destroyed by Champions League comebacks, too high wages and transfers. Absolutely spot on, ELC. I mean, everything you've said there, mate, is true. Their squad was aging massively. A lot of people on high wages, and some of the transfers made me scratch my... I'll never understand the Antoine Griezmann transfer. Made no sense to me whatsoever. I'll never understand bringing in a Pjanic, who was a very, very good footballer. Class act, but old again, and getting rid of a young Arthur in the opposite direction. There were some transfers there that honestly make me scratch my head and go, what the hell was going on at Barcelona? Johnsy, you're a United fan. Fair enough, mate. Welcome into the chat. It's lovely to see you in as everybody else. You know, we welcome all fans in here. Where's Samira? How are you, my friend? Said, hi Craig, Watford fan, I respect you. Keep going, don't listen to the haters. Yeah, man, really appreciate that, Samira. That means a lot. I've had loads of lovely messages over the past 48 hours or so, and it's really helped me along, so thank you for dropping in like that and leaving such a kind post. Lots of love from Cyprus. We should take Subasic, said Yanis the Beast 9000. Thank you for the super chat, mate, means a lot. Look, I'll take any fit, decent centre back at this point, mate. I think we'd all go, oh yeah. I think we'd understand. I just hope we can get something done. There's still time to act. That's the frustrating part right now. There's still time for the owners to go out and maybe get something done before this window closes. And heaven forbid, like, Matip picked up another injury or that. Like, we really are struggling to get bodies back at the minute. But look, Chamberlain's back from injury. Jota's working his way back. Henderson should be back. Matip will be available for Thursday as well. So it's not all negativity. There are some positives to take. Ermal, how are you, mate? Said, hi Craig, you bloody legend. Love right back to you, pal. Is the preview out tonight or tomorrow? It'll be out straight after this, Dan. It's recorded, it's edited, it's all good to go. It'll be out straight after this. Tomorrow, what I'm going to be doing as well, we're going to be doing a live show tomorrow with myself, Leon and Ian Brewster, who's Rian Brewster's father. We're going to be doing a live podcast, if you want to call it that, tomorrow at 6:30 on Anfield Agenda. So make sure you've got your notifications turned on for that one. I'm really looking forward to it. This will be the first time the lads have done this live, by the way, so I'm putting a bit of pressure on them, but I think you'll enjoy it. Any questions that you have for Leon or for Ian, please get them ready and I'll put them to them tomorrow. And of course, I'll be doing a watch along of Manchester United's game against Sheffield United on Mundo Sporto or other channel tomorrow night, straight after that interview or that podcast with Ian and Leon. Any news on the Eder Militao loan? Absolutely nothing, Bradley. I've seen no news whatsoever, even regarding other teams like Spurs were interested in a potential loan there. So no, is the answer, mate. I wish I had a more positive answer for you. Where do I get all your tops from? Love the Air Jordan gear. Honestly, the Nike website. It's just as simple as that. I'm somebody that I'm tremendously loyal to brands of Liverpool, so I bought a load of stuff when New Balance made their kits. Had a load of New Balance gear. At heart, I'm an Adidas boy. I have to be honest. I'm an Adidas freak. I've loved Adidas my whole life. But when Liverpool turned to Nike, I became a Nike boy as well. So I've bought lots of my hoodies from the Anfield Agenda to wear on Anfield Agenda. From the Nike store. Simple as that. I wish I got a sponsorship deal or something, because I think I'm almost known as Mr. Black Hoodie at this point, because it's all that I pretty much wear except for Liverpool tops. Craig, have you seen the news about Keita? If the news that you're talking about, buddy, is that they're working hard to build up his physical strength and to make sure that his body is a bit stronger, then yes, I've seen the news, and that is what's doing the rounds right now, that the sports science team and the physios are working really hard with Naby Keita to just make sure that maybe he's a little bit physically stronger, and hopefully that could stop the breakdown of his body that we've seen when he's managed to get a run of games, because we all know there's a talented player in there. It's just about being able to play consistent games for Naby. Do you think we should sign Alaba? I think the manager does, Sonny, from comments that have been attributed, or at least maybe not comments, but it's believed that Jurgen Klopp has urged the ownership group to not write off completely the idea of signing David Alaba. Now, I don't think it will be able to be done in January. I think even at that, you're looking at the end of the season. His first choice seems to be Real Madrid, but Klopp seems to really value the fact that he's a player who can play in a whole multitude of positions. He can play left back, centre back, play in midfield. He can play in a load of places, and again, Klopp loves versatility in footballers. I mean, you just need to look at our squad now. Milner, Henderson, Wijnaldum, all players who can play in a whole host of positions in that midfield role. Would I take Adama in January? The interesting thing on Adama is that the price seems to be going lower, interestingly enough. I think it seems to be a more realistic valuation. I've seen something to say that you may even be able to get him for as low as 35 million quid. At that type of price point, perhaps, but I'll tell you what, I was watching Sam Maxima when he came on against Leeds, and I thought maybe he was a bit of a one-trick pony at times, but I think I'm going to eat my words on him. He looks an absolute legend. I mean, he is a legend on social media. He's a lovely fella as well, but there looks to be a player there as well. But would I take Adama? I'm still unsure. I'm still unsure on Adama Traore. Alba's going to Real, isn't he? But that's everything that I've read and suggested, is that he's going to go to Real Madrid. That's always been his first choice. I've said that to you guys since day one. His first choice is Spain. We know that. I think they'll probably get an agreement in place, and they'll probably get that sorted for the summertime. But yeah, it's been no secret that he's always wanted to go to Spain. That was put out there fairly quickly once they knew he wasn't going to be signing a new deal. Do you still think we're winning the Premier League? No, I don't. I've got to be honest. I think we're in a fight for top four now. And look, if we play ourselves back into contention, then I'll start believing we're back in contention. But for me to sit here now and say confidently that I believe Liverpool will win the Premier League this year, I think I'd be codding myself, to be honest with you. But you know, if we put together a run of games, if we get some wins going, anything's possible. We're still not completely out of it, but we've certainly made it very, very difficult for ourselves. I think Adama would be an unbelievable signing, said Mark George. I don't disagree, but I'm just still on the fence about Adama. I mean, I haven't seen enough consistency to believe that, yes, he's 100% definitely nailed on to be a superstar. But there's obviously massive talent in there, and his strength is unbelievable, his pace is unbelievable. I just think the finished product needs to be worked on a bit there with Adama. Depay's going to go to Barcelona by the looks of it, Dan, on a free, along with Gini Wijnaldum. 2-1 Arsenal. Interesting. Thoughts on Stretford Paddock? I don't really know much about their stuff, mate. I know obviously Stephen Howson and Adam McCullough are the hosts on there most of the time, but I can honestly haven't seen much of the stuff. So like anybody that makes fan content, mate, I don't have any gripes with anyone. I just want everyone to do well. So yeah, I don't really have thoughts on them. I'm not somebody that watches a whole lot of YouTube stuff, to be honest, anyway. So yeah, no problems there at my end. You deserve this at this sorrow time. Thank you. You're very, very kind. Bandroxen, thank you for the super chat, mate. Dyra, I'm going to say this to you again, pal. If you repeat the same comment multiple times in the chat, you're going to get kicked out. You've put in your question, which I've answered, and then 10 comments later or so, your question's there again, mate. Craig, don't you think the squad needs a rejig in the summer? We've been playing with the same squad for a few. Yes, Sonny, absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. And I said this on last night's stream. I think we are at a point now where we're starting to see the evolution of Jurgen Klopp's second team at Liverpool's is second coming, if you want to call it that. So yeah, I do think we may see a couple of players moved on and some money freed up, and I think that money will be reinvested rather wisely, because the hit rate of our Liverpool transfers has been pretty good under Michael Edwards. They follow Jurgen Klopp and the rest of the recruitment team. Score prediction for Thursday, you're going to have to wait for the preview, mate. It's out after this stream, so keep an eye out. My preview, score prediction, starting 11 prediction, all of that stuff coming out straight after this stream. I want a new attack in midfield. I mean, I wouldn't say we need to completely clear out a new attack in midfield. I mean, we've got Curtis Jones breaking through, don't forget, great player. Harvey Elliott will come back from Blackburn on loan, where he's already doing really well. We've got youngsters coming through, and we're about to sign that kid from Derby by the looks of it as well, that 16-year-old kid that was wanted by United as well. I think around 3 million that fee could rise to. Can't think of his name off the top of my head, but yeah. Oh, I've forgotten it again. Connor's going to kill me. 1 second. Connor keeps wanting me to tweet when I'm live. I keep forgetting to do it, but I've just done it now, Connor, if you're watching, so hopefully I get away with that. Any strikers you think we should bring in? Well, look, obviously, I'd love us to go and get Haaland. I'd love us to go and get Daka from Salzburg. There's so many good attacking players out there in the world right now. Obviously, the big focus from Liverpool fans and the big rumour mill is that the Mbappe stuff. Talk of €150 million being a potential price tag if he doesn't sign on with PSG, and look, they will want to tie him down to a new deal. Maybe with Mauricio Pochettino coming in there, he'll be convinced of the project. I don't know. I've always been rather doubtful that Liverpool could afford his wages. I think I read, now I could be wrong on this part, I think I read earlier on his wages are about 21 million a year. Now I could be wrong on that one, but I'm sure it was something around that. And also we've seen today Frankie Lampard getting the boot, and Thomas Tuchel coming in as Chelsea manager, which, you know, I'm still unsure of Tuchel as well with regards to him being a very, very top level manager. But look, he's got a good squad to work with there at Chelsea, and let's see how he gets on. We need a proper backup centre back, striker, that's it, and striker, that's it. Yes, I agree. I would rather a wide attacking player. Put Salah to the centre if needs be, but yeah, look, there's no denying we need to freshen things up a little bit for sure. Is there any previous player from Liverpool that you bring back? No, there isn't. I don't like the idea of players coming back. I mean, I'm a hypocrite in some sense, because when Rafa brought Robbie Fowler back, I absolutely love that, but that was more to boost morale around, and it was a great move, by the way. It really paid off bringing Robbie Fowler back at that time. Cade Gordon, yes, that's the person I'm trying to think of, Philip, spot on. What else is there? Tuchel will be gone by the end of next season. I think so as well, man. Sometimes I wonder why people take certain jobs. So I often wonder why people take the Real Madrid job, the Barcelona job, the Chelsea job, because they are just 2-year jobs really at the best of times, and the clubs can be ruthless. So if you're in a club and you're doing very well, like let's say Klopp right now at Liverpool, people looking around going, oh, he could be the next Barca manager. Why would he want to be? Why would anyone take that poison chalice? Because you don't get the same buy-in or breathing space that you get, I think, in the Premier League a lot of the time with a lot of clubs. How am I? I'm good, Remy. How are you, my friend? Lovely to see you back in as always. Will Gini be a flop for Barca? I doubt it. Gini's a class player, and if he does leave Liverpool, which it looks like he's going to, I think he should go with a massive thank you from all of us for an excellent job. And look, I've nothing negative to say about Gini Wijnaldum in any way, shape or form. I love the man, and what he's done at Liverpool will always be remembered, and he seems like a thorough professional who will give everything right up until the last minute. I truly believe that. Do you think it's time for Milner to hang up his boots at the end of the season? That's really a tough call for me to have to sit here and make, man, because how do you measure what James Milner brings to a group? Do you just measure it in playing terms? Because I think it's probably a little bit wider than that. You're talking about somebody who sets the bar with regards to how you look after yourself fitness wise, somebody who lives the lifestyle of a footballer, somebody who coaches on the pitch, somebody who helps younger players come through, somebody with a winning attitude, somebody who the manager absolutely loves. So whenever James Milner wants to hang up his boots, I think will be the right time, and James Milner, I believe, will be the man to make that call, because he's James Milner. He's like the Benjamin Button of football. Would I take Coutinho or Lovren back? No to both. We're going to need to replace Wijnaldum when he leaves. Yeah, and the talk has been around Rodrigo de Paul from Udinese, Renato Sanchez, but again, that's just paper talk, and until anything is confirmed or until we get a bit more information, I guess we're all going to be wondering who that replacement could well be. Brian said it's definitely time for him to leave Liverpool, go to an easier league. I think that's in relation to Genie. We need a hungry attacker. Yes, Oisin, I absolutely agree with you, man. I really do. I often wonder how, let's say, like let's use McGregor as an example. I often wonder how once you taste that big money, once you get that $100 million Floyd Mayweather fight money, how you stay hungry to stay on top like that. And I think it's the same in football. I think a lot of the time players coming through 23, 24, 25, 26, they've got a point to prove. They're at their best, and that's what excites me so much about Haaland and Mbappe and stuff. They still have that petulance of youth about them, and I love seeing that in a footballer. What are my thoughts on the new Derby youngster we're very likely signing? I just spoke about Darren a minute ago. I don't know too much on the guy other than the fee could potentially rise to about 3 million quid. Very highly thought of at the club. At Derby, I should mean. Wayne Rooney, I believe, is the one who gave him his opportunity, brought him up from the under-18s or the under-23s to train with the first team. Was very impressed with how he trained, gave him his chance. United were linked with him, but it looks like at this moment Liverpool have pipped United to that signing. But you know, until the ink is dry on the contract and he's standing there holding up a Liverpool shirt, we'll wait and see. Do you think we could get Ibrahima Konate or Sven Botman in the remaining days of the window? I don't see any way that Konate would be sold to Liverpool from Leipzig, particularly because we've got them in the Champions League, mate, and they're not going to weaken themselves and strengthen a rival ahead of the Champions League tie coming up in February. So no to that. And the Sven Botman thing was batted off as the club genuinely not having an interest in him. The talk that came out of that, or from the Liverpool side, from the Liverpool journalist side, was that it was just Liverpool's name being linked to get the guy a better move or a better contract. So from what I might be made aware of, there's no interest in Sven Botman. What have we got? We all love Milner. Then after his injury, we've not felt the same, strangely. Maybe he wasn't missed as much as we thought. There are more creative players than him. Absolutely. I mean, every time I see James Milner starting a game, I worry. Not worry about his attitude, not worry about his commitment on the pitch, but I worry about the lack of creativity. So I guess I'm a bit of a hypocrite in some senses, but if he does hang up his boots, I'd love to keep him at the club. I'd love him to be part of the coaching staff. Patson Daka is almost a carbon copy of Mane. Bring him in for 20 million or whatever. But again, Andrew, I'm fully on board that one, mate. Patson Daka, somebody who's represented by Freddie Canute, somebody who Spurs are looking at as well, somebody who we know Liverpool have looked at. We know Liverpool have a good relationship. Klopp and Jesse Marsh, the Salzburg manager, speak glowingly of each other. We've obviously done the deal to take Takumi Minamino from Salzburg to Liverpool. So yes, I think we should be looking at Patson Daka, and I think it would prove very good value for money. Any news on Jota coming back? Nah, still nothing new, man. I'm just expecting him to be back for the Champions League game. That's the way I'm putting it in my head. If he's back before that, brilliant. What have we got? Manchester United all the way said, how are you? I'm good, thank you, buddy, and thank you for dropping in. I tell you what, I want to just take a second to say, oh God, I want to say thank you to Manchester United fans, because as you guys know, I've come under attack recently from all different sides, from a lot of stuff. But I want to just take a second to say thank you to those Manchester United fans that took the time to come into our chat and leave lovely comments, tell me to keep going, tell me to back myself, being able to put their club loyalties aside like that, to just look at me as a human being, and that meant a lot to me. So I'll continue to banter the shit out of you, as I want right back from you guys to me, but I just want to put it on record and take a second to say that the support that I've received I've always received it from our own subscribers. That goes without saying, but the Manchester United fans went out of their way to come over and, you know, give kind words, and I'll never forget that. It means a lot to me. I hate your club massively, but you guys are a good bunch, so thank you for that. Adar said, really like your content, mate. Cheers, pal. Appreciate it. I'm just a normal dude that just interacts and chats with people. That's what I've always said. Yeah, look, when I'm doing watch-alongs, I say some off-the-wall shit because I'm emotional, and I get really emotional watching football, and I say loud things and I scream a lot, and I sing some songs for a bit of fun, and I try and make it interactive and enjoyable. But, you know, if these things are just clipped up, you can be made to look like a right dick at times. Like, I'm all over meme pages and stuff, and people say, ha ha ha, you're a living meme. My answer is always going to be the same. I will happily take all of this shit on my chest, all the abuse, all the you're a living meme stuff, if it means that I can give my wife and my 2 amazing kids a better life. I'll take that shit on the chin, and I'll come back for more, because I'm fighting for my family here, and I'm fighting to make our lives better, and that's not going to stop. So if I'm a living meme, I'm a living meme, but I think I'm a nice guy, so hopefully people give me a chance to get to know me a bit. Will Hendo be back for Spurs? I believe so. He's in my predicted 11 anyway, Addison, but, you know, we got to wait and see. I think, you know, we'll have him back, and I think we'll have Matip back as well. Thank you, Adar. Really appreciate that. Do I rate Bruno Fernandes? Of course I do. I mean, for me, like, I'm somebody that speaks my mind, and I speak the truth, or what I believe to be the truth, I should say. And look, if I sat here and said Bruno Fernandes is not a top footballer, I'd be just doing a disservice to every other fan channel, to the sport that we all love. Yeah, of course he's a good player, man. Of course I rate him. Do I live in Gorey? Yes, I do. Good, thank you, Connor. How are you, mate? What do I think about Jota? Oh, amazing signing. I mean, I did not expect him to have as much of an impact as he's had so quickly after he came in. But yeah, massively rate Jota. Delighted to have him at the club. Still 2-1 to Arsenal in that game. Sorry, I was just checking the score. Craig, you're in your living room, you're comfortable. Oh, I'm defo comfortable. Yes, I am. Especially sitting in this baby, this beautiful chair. I was just watching Mundo Sporto with Lee, and the channel's doing incredible. Yeah, it's doing really well, and we're so happy with Mundo Sporto. It's our other channel where we do non-Liverpool stuff. We also want to use it as a platform to allow other YouTubers to show what they can do, and Lee Chappie's on there tonight, and we're going to have other people hosting stuff on there as well. Of course, I'll be on there tomorrow night doing the United's game against Sheffield United, so I'm just delighted. Things have gone really well for us, but it's only because of the support we get from you guys. Is it time to cash in on the front three? It's a fair question, Oisin. I think I wouldn't say yes to all of them. I mean, I would like to see any of them go, but look, if I had to pick one to keep, I'd take Mane to keep. I love Sadio. I love them all, like, let's be quite clear about that, but yes, I think you're right, mate. I think it's getting to a point where it will get time to cash in, for want of a better phrase. The Jota thing, again, I'm just looking at him for the Champions League, mate. I don't know when he'll be back, but I'm hoping at least he'll be back for the Leipzig games. Thoughts on the criticism of Oxlade-Chamberlain? It's very difficult to criticise because it's not his fault that he's injured, but it does have an effect. Sorry, something just popped up on my screen here that I have to get rid of. It does have an effect and a knock-on on the rest. So Chamberlain not being available for a lot of the time means that when he does come back, it takes him a while to get up to speed, and look, it doesn't always work out best for the squad. But again, a fit, fully firing Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's a very good footballer, and I certainly haven't been giving him abuse, and I haven't seen too much abuse towards him, to be honest, and maybe I just have a different timeline. Craig, is it me or does Minamino light the pitch up when he comes on? I'm baffled as to why he's not getting a chance. He mustn't be training well, which is weird because it kind of goes against everything that Klopp has said about him, you know, training well, processing information well, being very tactically aware. But he's obviously not getting picked for a reason, and the only thing I can think of is that he's not shown in training that he deserves an opportunity. But I mean, to see Origi come on ahead of him, I'm genuinely baffled by that. One player from another club you'd like. Any other club? Because if that's the case, I'll have Mbappe, please. Thank you very much. Mbappe, Haaland. I'd love De Bruyne, of course, as well. What a player he is. Would I prefer Alisson or Peter Whelan in goals? Me, of course, mate. Me, I should be the keeper. I should be the first choice all the time. Sorry, I'm just refreshing here just to make sure that these games are still as they show. Is it me or has Mane got slower this year? I don't know. I think all of our front three have lost the yard of pace, to be honest. What I will say about Sadio Mane is just very few players I've seen that can get up to pace as quickly as he can from a standing start. I mean, the first yard or two is still incredible. Minamino needs to buff up, and I think that's a fair comment, mate. Swap Firmino for Curtis Jones for a few games. It's not a like-for-like player at all there, to be fair. I mean, Bobby plays through the centre of our attack, although he does drop deeper to pick up, and Curtis Jones did his best work, I think, on the left-hand side there in the last game. When's the video with Jack made out? We didn't record it today, Ronan. I was saying that at the start of the stream. Something came up for Jack, which has looked completely understandable. This happens to me a lot of the time as well. So we're going to be recording on Thursday, mate. So it'll go out as the preview to the West Ham game. So probably Friday, I'd say that'll be out. Tomorrow, though, myself, Leon and Ian Brewster will be live at 6:30 doing a stream on here. You guys get your questions ready for them, and I'll be in a watch along than Mundo Sporto tomorrow night at 8:30, and then Thursday it's just busy for the rest of the week. Kate said the Origi decision makes me seriously doubt Klopp big time. It's one of the only negatives that I have towards Klopp. Like, I've often said this, if we were to go into a factory and put in all the ingredients for a manager, we'd come out with Jurgen Klopp. That's what we'd want. But you're right, sometimes there is a stubborn streak there. And look, I suppose to get to the level that Pep or Klopp or, you know, other top managers get to, you need to have that bit of a stubborn streak. But the substitutions are one that gets to me at times. I'd like to see them a little bit sooner in games. I know Klopp has spoken about the fact he likes to give players an opportunity to learn from situations and solve problems on the pitch, but sometimes I think you just need to pull the trigger on them changes early. But the Origi thing, that has me baffled as well. I honestly don't see what he brings anymore. Craig, I reckon we rush Lee after this on Mundo Sporto. Well, yeah, everyone head over as soon as this is over to Mundo Sporto. Absolutely, give Lee, show Lee some love over there. Any thoughts on Firmino playing in midfield? I'd love it. And look, that's what he was when he was brought in. Do you know what I mean? He's now a number 9, but an attacking midfield role for Bobby Firmino I think is ideal because he's great at linking up between the lines, showing for space. I'm all for it, mate. All for it. Have you got the new PC yet? No, it's supposed to be here tomorrow, Brad. The tracking from DHL shows that it left Leipzig, funnily enough. I'm not joking, it's actually on its way from Leipzig, and I think it'll be here. I think it went from Eindhoven to Brussels, from Brussels to Leipzig, and now Leipzig all the way over to Ireland. So I'm hoping I have it tomorrow, mate, and should be set up for Thursday then, all going well. We're finished as a club. No, we're not. And to say that, mate, is just... I know you're just pissed off. I get it. Like, I understand you're frustrated, but we're far from finished as a club. Can we get a score prediction? Again, Ronan, it's coming out in the preview, mate, straight after this. 2-2. That's what I said. Shh. Don't tell anyone I told you, Ronan. Is Salah carrying the whole Liverpool team this season? Absolutely not, because I don't think he's played particularly well this season, to be fair. Look, yes, of course you can point to his goals, and they've been huge. But no, I wouldn't say he's carrying. I think Fabinho is probably doing the guts of the carrying, if I'm being honest. What have we got? Naby should be sold. Playing one game and injured for 10 is unacceptable. Well, look, I don't think the club will allow it to go on more than the summer, mate. Put it that way. I mean, I'm one of Naby's biggest fans. If I was to turn around and show you my wall behind me, there's an Naby Keita signed shirt on the wall. But I have to admit that, yeah, it's frustrating, and yeah, it's not acceptable for the squad and for the club. But at the same time, the club are trying to work with Naby now to strengthen up his core and his muscles and make sure that, you know, maybe his body's a bit stiffer, and hopefully they find a way, because there's a great player in there. Have I heard of Ushy and Kent from Wigan? No, I have not. Have you ever been to Old Trafford? Yes, I have been there once. A lot of my family were United fans, so many years ago. Must be probably at least 12 years ago. Went over there with my family on a day trip. United were playing Blackburn in the quarter-final of the League Cup, and we went, I think United won it 2-0 if my memory's right. And my standout memories from going there were actually how blown away I was by the quality of Rio Ferdinand and Wayne Rooney at the time. You could just see the class was there. But yeah, I've been there once, mate. Yeah, just once. But yeah, I was there for a game. Craig, do you feel that Liverpool are going through a transition? Yes. Again, that 3-4 year cycle of success that clubs have, we're not immune from that. So yeah, I do feel like a bit of freshening up is needed. 1 or 2 bodies in the summer, a couple out maybe, bring through some youngsters, give the likes of Harvey Elliott an opportunity when he comes back. Craig, I think when Jota comes back, we'll go to a 4-3-3. Jota striker, Salah, Mane wings, Firmino centre attacking midfield, Thiago and Hendo right. Yeah, man, I don't disagree with that at all. I'd be fully on board for that SGN Raider. Exactly what you said there. That's the way I have it in my head as well, mate. Rashford or Salah, again, I'm not touching that with a barge pole, mate. I don't do these, I don't like these, this or this. They're both good players, both at different stages of the career, both offer different things. But, we have Salah, so Salah's our boy. Do you think we have become too predictable? I suppose that's the easy way of saying, yeah, people look at our attacking style then with the flanks and the fact that we don't have Van Dijk there at the minute to be able to play those raking diagonal balls that he did, and yeah, maybe we are a bit one-dimensional at times. But, it's up to these players to be and the coaching staff, of course, to be able to find ways to shake things up a bit. And I believe that was one of the reasons Thiago was brought in, was to give us a different dimension. Unfortunately for him, he hasn't been able to have everybody around him yet, at least in good form, to be able to really capitalise on it. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call that one a night. We've been on here about 45 minutes or so now. I will see you guys tomorrow at 6:30. Myself, Ian Brewster, who's Rian's dad, and Leon from Boyle Sports. We'll be having a chat for about 30-35 minutes or so from 6:30 tomorrow. Hope you can catch that one. I'll be over in Mundo Sporto then tomorrow night doing a watch along of United's game against Sheffield United, and then of course I'll be back here on Thursday for the pre-match show, and then we'll have the watch along with the post-match show as well. So yeah, lots of stuff happening. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Please do hit that subscribe button if you have. Drop a like on the video as well. Much love to all of you. As I always say, stay safe, be well. I hope that your families are all okay, and thank you for your support as always. Hit that subscribe button, turn the notifications on, and I will chat to you superstars tomorrow. Now jump over to Mundo Sporto and show Lee some love. Thanks folks.